We are in Dryandra woodland today, which is about 160 kilometres southeast of Perth. It's 28,000 hectares in size and it is in 17 discrete blocks. Dryandra woodland is completely surrounded by farmland. That's why our farmers are so important for our Numbat neighbourhood project. Numbats are a small, unique marsupial that is the WA fauna emblem. They're very culturally significant to Noongar people. And we're lucky enough here in Dryandra woodland to have one of two populations, wild populations of Numbats. So Numbats are endangered, and ever since European settlement, their population has declined quite dramatically. They have a number of threats, the main ones being habitat loss and fragmentation, and also introduced predators, specifically feral cats and foxes. And one of the aims of the project is to improve the trajectory or stabilise the population of Numbats. And one of the ways that we can see that this is happening is if Numbats start to move off reserve and into on-farm habitat. So if we can educate landholders how to identify Numbat digs and scats to know if the Numbats are moving onto and through this on-farm habitat, then we'll know that the population is increasing.
A Numbat is an Australian marsupial. It's a beautiful looking animal. It's probably half the size of a rabbit. It weighs about 500 grams. The males are a little bit heavier, the females are a little bit smaller. They've got beautiful white stripes on their back, so they're quite distinguishable. They've got a long nose for extracting termites, a long sticky tongue that assists with that as well, which is about 11 centimetres long, and a bushy tail. Numbats in Western Australia are found in Wandoo woodlands, so we're here today at Dryandra woodland, which is really good habitat for the Numbat. There are other areas further south from here, which is a Jarrah Marri woodland. In this particular Dryandra woodland, they probably do prefer some of the gullies. There tends to be a lot more larger trees that persist in the gullies. Those larger trees, as they grow, branches break or they senesce or naturally die. So as they fall to the ground, they provide large logs and timber on the ground as well. So if I'm going out to look for Numbats, I'll drive along a road and I might stop at a gully, for example, and look at that location. But as Numbat populations increase, they do like other areas of habitat also, and that might be because of seasonal requirements or changes in moisture in soil in a gully versus a hillside. So they will move into all sorts of areas, and in Dryandra here we have mallet woodlands as well. They're sort of more on the hilltops, so you will find them there. But they will move through shrubbery areas as well, which I think is really important for them. As they move through that, they're not detected by predators. Numbats only eat termites. They get enough moisture from termites that they don't need to drink water as well. 20,000 a day is what they need, so they'll forage in the soil, in the leaf litter, in logs, under logs, on the edges of termite mounds they'll forage also. They can't actually dig termite mounds, they're not strong enough to penetrate that hard layer of a termite mound, but certainly the galleries that come out from those termite mounds they will find, and they'll dig holes into the soil to expose that gallery, and then they've got a pointy nose, that long tongue that can get right up the gallery and extract all those termites. Numbat digs are small, they're a little bit cylindrical in shape, or they can be a little bit oval shaped. Sometimes they can have a little bit of point to them at the head of the dig as well. And when a Numbat digs, it will throw the soil everywhere, so it's not a nice neat hole. It doesn't have a little pile of soil next to it. They just flick it out wherever because they're just so focused on smelling those termites and getting to that termite gallery so that they can feed. And the important thing about Numbat digs is you always tend to find more than one. So there'll be a series of them, and from that you can pick the way that the animals move through the environment as well. So an echidna dig compared to a Numbat dig will be much deeper, much larger in size. It's quite messy, there's piles of soil all next to the hole, and you'll find an echidna, there's a bit of a trail of where it will move through. Sometimes you'll even get a nose print. of where an echidna's been, and even footprints on the fresh dug soil. Oily digs, there is a lot here at Dryandra, and we do come across them. Their digs, they have a nice little neat pile of soil next to them, so you can imagine the woylie, gently looking for fungi, and they just sort of put the soil out where numbats are all over the place. That one is a woylie dig, yep. That's a really good example of a woylie dig. That nice little pile of soil out there. So a numbat scat is normally 1 to 2 centimetres long. It might be 1 centimetre wide or half a centimetre wide. It can depend on the age of the numbat. The colour is normally black and it's quite shiny on the outside. And if you were to put one in your hand, there's quite a little bit of weight to it as well, because numbats are foraging in the soil. They pick up lots of grains of sand, so that adds to the weight of the scat. But what distinguishes that scat is you can normally break it open and you'll see the grains of sand, but you'll also see sparkly sections, and the colour of the scat can vary a little bit sometimes depending on the soil that they're foraging in. So we've got some echidna activity here, including a scat. Sometimes they can just be straight. They're normally darker than that. That's quite a brown colour. Woylie and possums being herbivores, their scats, when you break them open, if you can break them open because they get quite hard, you will see pieces of vegetation in them. And obviously numbats don't eat vegetation, they only eat termites, so you'll only find termite mandibles in a numbat scat.
Through the Numbat Neighbourhood Project, we have a component of it which we call Farmers for Fauna, and that's all about supporting farmers with feral animal control. So we provide assistance to farmers through running workshops to get their 1080 accreditation so they can actually lay baits, and we also provide them with assistance for purchasing the baits. The other thing we do is we loan out cage traps, and we also provide awareness programs. So through the project, we have a number of partners, and we're very, very lucky. One of our main partners that we work with are the landholders and the community, and they're already doing a great job. They just need a bit of encouragement and support to keep doing what they do. They're all very passionate about Dryandra woodland. We work closely with the traditional owners in the Hoth and Williams. We really want to not only promote the modern history of what's happened here, but also that in Indigenous culture and how important it is. We think it's really important to share those stories with the community, and through the Numbat Neighbourhood Project, where we are and we're going to be able to continue to do that. The project is funded by the Australian Government's National Land Care Program. We also have some funding from Newmont Boddington as well. One of our main project partners is the Department of Biodiversity, Conservation and Attractions. So we value add and assist them with what they're doing on reserve. We also, with DBCA, support the Numbat Captive Breeding Program at the Perth Zoo. So we're very honoured to be part of that project and supporting that for 4 years. And through those partnerships, we've also become an active member on the Numbat Recovery Team. Our other project partners include Project Numbat. We go out into schools with Project Numbat and raise awareness of the numbat and other threatened species. One of the other partners is the Numbat Task Force. Along with all of those project partners, we also have a memorandum of understanding with the shires of Boddington, Williams, Wandering and Cuballing. So that's about us all working together for the same goal in natural resource management and supporting the community. If you'd like to learn more about the Numbat Neighbourhood Project and be involved, please just get in touch with us, and you can also find our details on our website.